Trump's corruption has gone too far. It's time to leave. Maga. If you're a Maga supporter, I get what you might be thinking. Not too long ago, I'd have been right there with you. I was a true believer. I really saw Donald Trump as a fighter, someone finally giving a voice to people who'd been ignored for decades. I was all in. But today, I want to tell you about the moment it all changed for me. The moment I realized the corruption was just too much, and I had to walk away. This isn't about being right or wrong. It's about what happens when the facts just stare you in the face, and you have to accept a difficult truth. The weaponization of justice. The first thing I just couldn't ignore anymore was the politicization of our own Department of Justice. We've heard from dozens of former career DOJ attorneys, people who served under both Republican and Democratic presidents, describe a department that was no longer about impartial justice. Instead, it was being twisted for political revenge. These aren't just a few disgruntled workers. These are public servants who swore an oath to the Constitution. They reported pressure to dig up dirt on political opponents and to treat the president's friends differently from everyone else. We saw prosecutors testify before Congress that they were told to give a break to a Trump ally because leadership was afraid of the president. That's not law and order. That's using our most trusted institutions to settle personal scores. The betrayal of draining the swamp. The second gut punch was watching the promise to drain the swamp become a bad joke. Instead of cleaning up Washington, the pardon power was used to reward political hacks and the super wealthy. On his first day back in office, Trump granted clemency to around 1,500 people, charged or convicted in relation to the January 6th Capitol riot. Prosecutors who spent years building cases against people who assaulted police officers saw their work wiped away in an instant. And it didn't stop there. Pardons went to political allies convicted of serious crimes. Even more shocking, pardons have been used to undo convictions for massive financial fraud, in some cases wiping out hundreds of millions of dollars in restitution to victims. How does that help the average American? It doesn't. It sends a clear message. If you are loyal enough and connected enough, the law doesn't apply to you. That isn't justice. It's just plain corruption and un-American. The America First lie. And that brings me to the final, most painful truth. This was never really about America first. It was always about Trump first. You just have to look at the plans laid out in Project 2025. They openly call for an agenda to put the executive branch in direct political control of the country. That means Trump first. When you add that to the fact that his administration paused enforcement of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, the law that stops companies from bribing officials, the picture gets pretty clear. The graft of millions in cash and crypto payments given to Trump's family is in open view. This isn't a leader fighting for us. This is a leader who sees the government not as a tool to serve the people, but as a weapon to make him wealthy, protect himself, and punish his enemies. It's a betrayal of the very ideas of fairness and equal justice that so many of us hoped the Maga movement would bring back. The difficulty of leaving. Walking away from all this isn't easy. I really do know that. For so many, Maga is more than politics. It's a community. It can feel like your family. The fear of losing those friends and relationships is a very real thing. And there's the quiet shame of thinking you might have been wrong, especially after defending it for so long. But being a patriot isn't about blind loyalty to one person. It's about being loyal to the truth and to our country. There are groups out there like Leaving Maga, started by people who have been on the same exact journey. We wrote a book to help guide you through a self-discovery process to find your ultimate best life, based on facts, not on loyalty tests. It is time to refocus. Leaving Maga isn't about giving up your values, it's about getting back in line with them. It's about demanding better for our country than a system where justice is for sale and power is a tool for personal gain. Greed and corruption are not part of our American dream, and calling it out is required today. If any of this is hitting home for you, I'm not asking you to take my word for it. Please look it up for yourself. Read the testimony from the former DOJ officials. Look at the list of pardons and ask yourself, who did they really help? Share this with someone you know who might be asking some of these same questions. It's okay to change your mind when you're presented with new facts. It's the right thing to do. Subscribe, comment below, and buy the book on Amazon.
Talking about politics and the American dream is important because they work together to create American society.
Politics creates laws that impact everything from laws and civil rights to education and affordable health care.
Although it has inspired many, the promise of the American dream is debated due to ongoing wealth and opportunity gaps.
We must discuss politics with respect and dignity for everyone. We the people share common values and hope for positive change.
This is the time to have difficult conversations about betrayal and decide how to improve the American dream.